Dear Igor Nedorozhny, not long ago we briefly mentioned this after Kivanlisi in Beijing. For this, we spoke on the phone. I would like to begin our meeting with the most sensitive topic, the tragic incident that occurred in our world. And even then, during our first phone conversation, I not only apologize for the fact that this tragedy happened specifically in the skies over Russia, but also expressed my deepest condolences to all those who lost their lives. I would like to repeat and reaffirm all of this and say that we are, of course, as agreed, providing every possible assistance to the investigation. The investigation is coming to an end. And now, overall, we need to talk about the causes of this tragedy, this disaster. It is connected to several circumstances. The first is that there was a Ukrainian drone in the sky. We were tracking 3 drones at once that crossed the border of the Russian Federation at night on the day of the tragedy. The second reason lies in technical failures of Russia's own air defense system. And 2 missiles, as I said, were launched. They did not directly hit the plane. If that had happened, it would have crashed on the spot. But they exploded. Maybe it was self-destruction, a few meters away, about 10 meters. And that's why the damage occurred, but mainly not from the warhead's striking elements, but most likely from fragments of the missiles themselves. That is why the pilots perceived it as a bird strike, which is what he reported to the Russian air traffic controllers. And all of this is recorded in the so-called black boxes. He was also offered, and this is also clearly heard in the black boxes, to make a landing at Kommunar Ochkal, but he decided to return to the home base airport and then Kazakhstan. Nevertheless, the fact remains. The causes of the tragedy, as I have just explained to you, are all documented after a thorough analysis of the technical characteristics of what happened with a second-by-second breakdown. The results from this so-called black box, well, we also discussed this topic later on. Of course, everything required in such cases, in such tragic situations, will be done by the Russian side regarding compensation, and a legal assessment will be given for all officials involved. The actions of all officials. Of course, here, words, expressions related to this deeply saddening tragedy, aimed at providing much-needed moral support to the families, cannot solve the immediate pressing problem in such cases. They absolutely cannot bring back the precious lives of those individuals who died as a result of the terrible tragedy. But despite this harsh reality, our task, I repeat once again, as we agreed from the very beginning, is to give an objective assessment of everything that happened, to identify the true causes. But this requires a certain amount of time. In order to finally put an end to this, it will probably take some more time. But overall, for the most part, I have presented to you what I was briefed on literally the day before our meeting yesterday. The day before yesterday, and even again last night, I called Moscow and asked if there were any additional details. Practically everything I know, I have told you. This is the first part. The second, I would like to note that despite this, our mutual interests in many areas coincide and are very close. And first and foremost, of course, this concerns trade and economic matters. The central point that has been consistently highlighted in all the speeches delivered today is the presence of a tremendous mess. This situation is concerning. Regarding the economic indicators, the growth rate is currently standing at 16%, I believe. And for my area, it has seen an increase of approximately 6%. Furthermore, this year alone, the overall trade turnover has already experienced a growth of more than 16%, indicating an expansion in commercial activities. This is a very good indicator. Thanks to your attention to this topic, our humanitarian ties have always remained at a high level. We will talk more about this now. We are grateful to you for this, and of course, on our part, we will do everything to ensure that this dynamic continues. And of course, the situation in the region, the situation in general on international platforms. Our foreign ministries have always worked very closely with each other. I hope that this cooperation will not only be restored, but will continue in the spirit of our relations, in the spirit of our alliance. We never forget this, we remember. Thank you. In the agreement that was signed not so long ago, we, for our part, will do everything to implement all its main provisions. Thank you.